I would now like Tom Chabin to please come on down and to introduce our next Hall of Fame inductee, Tracye Hutchins.
Thank you very much. Well, it's indeed a pleasure for all of us to be here, isn't it? When I spoke last year, I pointed out that surveys year after year after year have been conducted for students entering universities. And in the early 70s, 60s, 80% of the students entering universities entered because they wanted to pursue a liberal arts degree. Today, 80% of the students go to a university to pursue a career. And I think that's interesting, especially in the context of Tracye Hutchins. She was born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada, has two sisters, and her parents worked for Clark County. And she went around looking for schools. She drove here to NAU, liked the place, graduated in 1992. Did you work for the Lumberjack? Or your broadcast television, right? She shared with me that they covered a story about an accident on the railroad tracks that the local station, KNAZ, did not cover. And lo and behold, the station in Phoenix came up and took their footage and scooped our local station. And so, you know, it's a reflection of some passion, isn't it? It's a reflection of someone who wants to be there to see it and report it. Tracye's done that. Her first job after NAU was to go to a small media station, if you will, in northern Missouri with coverage in southern Iowa. That's an audience, isn't it? But then subsequently was anchor for the CBS affiliate in San Diego. Prior to that, worked for CNN. Headline News, was a reporter there. And today, 6 years on the morning program, and today, after 21 years in journalism, she anchors the evening CBS affiliate in Atlanta, Georgia, one of the largest media outlets in the nation. So I think about liberal arts. I think about journalism. And I think about the capacity to be an anchor in a media like Atlanta. You know you must have a wit. You know you have to almost forget about everything except to be focused on the job that you have, to be centered. And when news is breaking, as it has been for her, on two occasions, the arrest of Saddam Hussein and the Columbia shuttle disaster. She was on air on CNN Headline News for those two events. You have to be centered. You have to be focused. You have to listen to the answers someone's giving you in an interview. You have to ask questions back for greater clarity. And it's a ride. You're on a wave because you don't know where it's going to go. And at the same time, you have the duty not to bring panic or misinformation to a public that wants to know what's going on now. And certainly in Atlanta, with all that's going on there, a great Senate race, whatever's going on in crime, whatever's going on in corruption, whatever's going on in politics, Tracye is there. So we are proud that she is from NAU, graduated from NAU, and claims us. Welcome, Tracye, to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Tom. I don't know that I could live up to that introduction there. Tom has an amazing memory, certainly, and I apologize. I feel much better than I sound. I'm just kind of getting over little allergies here and kind of an adjustment for the change of climate. But I do have to say that, you know what, I love this school. And I came to NAU because I fell in love with this campus. And Tom is right, it was wonderful to share my experience and my past with him on the phone briefly, because I did grow up in Las Vegas, and you know, there's certainly many other places to go. UNLV, going in-state, was certainly an option for my parents. My mom was doing it by herself, essentially, when I went to college. My parents were divorced at the time, and unfortunately, that's, you know, the situation for a lot of parents. They have to kind of look at school economically for their children. What's the best choice economically? And I was fortunate and blessed enough to be able to come over to a sister state and come to NAU because I did fall in love with the campus, and they had an amazing broadcasting program. And I can tell you today that I am where I am because of the broadcasting program here at NAU. The story that he shared with you just shortly about, you know, it was when we were younger, we had a scanner. A roommate and I actually had a police scanner in our apartment here, you know, just right off campus. And that's how we were able to find out someone unfortunately had gotten hit on the railroad tracks, and she had a little small camera. We went over there, and maybe about 10 years later, I ended up working with both that photographer and that reporter at KPNX in Phoenix. So it shows you what a small world this is. And it's interesting, too, that things do go full circle, come full circle. You know, when I was a student here some 25 years ago and working at KRCK, we had a radio station here. I kind of learned how to walk up songs. And certainly today, that helps me in kind of walking up a newscast. We're timed down to the very second. So it's amazing, all those little things you learn that you kind of carry through your life with you. I remember splicing tape at KRCK and, you know, putting things together with the little tape. And also working at UTV. Back then we called it UTV, and that was the news channel that we had. And we would go out and we would cover City Hall, we would cover politics, we would cover things that went on in this city. And we were a competitor with the local television station here. And I can say, and Marty has shared the story last year when I was given the Unson Award, I decided not to do an internship. You know, I was kind of bullheaded, a little stubborn. I didn't want to go get anyone's coffee or take notes from, I didn't want to do that in Las Vegas. So I got my first job based on the tape that I made right here at NAU. How many people can say that? And fortunately, I was able to get a job, and now, mind you, it was a small market, but it was television nonetheless. So, you know, I can't tell you how much NAU has meant to me over the years when people, when I meet them at public events and they say, oh, how long have you been doing this? About 21 years. Oh, okay, where'd you go to school? And I say, NAU. They have no idea where this is. You know, on the East Coast there, this is certainly not one of the top schools on their list. But I can tell you, it is certainly an amazing broadcasting school, and that's one of the things that I share with them, is that I was able to get all the skills that I needed to go out into the real world here at NAU. And I did want to say thank you, certainly to Ann and to Marty and to Dale, because they have kept in contact with me, and Marty and Dale especially. I was just sitting there thinking it's a wonderful feeling to know that your professors are proud of you, and your professors made a difference in your life. And I just want to say thank you to both of you.